It works. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you this sunny, beautiful morning here in, well, I think we're in East Contacts here, East Contacts Head, which is the coastline that runs from Bridgewater all the ways through to Minehead. It's absolutely beautiful this morning, although I look like a bit saintly with a glowing thing behind me. So I'm going to turn around and you can see the sea because I'm not a saint, I can assure you. I'm just going to walk back here without falling over the edge so you get a good view of the ocean. And wow, what an extraordinary morning compared to the last few mornings where it's just been pouring rain and been pretty bleak, to be honest with you, and dark. We've even had to have the lights on a couple of occasions on the camera. Anyway, I'm babbling. So what have I got for you this morning? Got no specific question this morning. So do keep those questions coming in because I really do like thinking about the answers and responding accordingly. So I've just got a thought, and we've had a couple of those in some other videos. And one of the things that people have asked before is, Tony, you often talk about this notion of a personal philosophy for success, and to talk more about that. Excuse me. And on the Be Inspired group and other videos, we do talk a lot about that. Certainly on our practitioner NLP and coaching program, we talk a lot about that because that's fundamental to change yourself, have a great philosophy so you can help other people change in a coaching practice. But I thought I'd just pick out one more of the presuppositions of NLP, or maybe two, and join them together, which maybe people will find useful. So the first one here is the meaning of your communication is the response you get. The meaning of your communication is the response you get. So what does that really mean? So boiling it down to its kind of essence, if you will, is the meaning of my communication with whoever's listening to this is the response I get. Or if I'm a room full of people or talking to somebody, perhaps one-to-one with a subordinate or a manager or a friend or a colleague or a sales call, whatever it is, how is the other person responding? It's down to me. It's my responsibility to adjust my communication style, how I'm interacting with that person, because the response I get is the meaning that they're getting. So I might need to adjust. So it's not their fault if they don't understand what I'm trying to say, the concept or the idea I'm trying to get across. It's my fault. I've got to be nimble, aware, have enough acuity. We've talked about the four pillars before. Acuity is one of them, and of course flexibility, and of course rapport. All of those things boil into that. But more importantly, the meaning of my communication is about my internal dialogue, and I think this is often missed in some trainings, and I never know why really, because it's the most profound thing. What's the result of my internal dialogue? What am I saying to myself all of the time? When things go wrong, do I kind of go, oh, there it goes again. I knew I would fail. It never works out for me. The sort of subtext of that is I'm not deserving of success and happiness. Well, of course you are, and there's no failure on the feedback, and so you need to adjust accordingly. So and you can see how these things begin to join together to create a sort of underpinning philosophy for success. So check your internal dialogue or your internal talk. Sometimes the internal tape that's running, is it supportive or is it a little bit more on the negative side? And then I would join with that is, if you want to understand, act. And also, all behavior has a positive intention. You say, well, that's kind of a lot of things to take in first thing in the morning. But what we say in NLP is that thinking is a profound behavior. And so all behavior has a positive intention. What is the positive behavior of my thinking? And if I want something to change in my life, we've said before about if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always had. I've got to change my thinking, how I feel about things, I feel about myself, and change that attitude to a more can-do approach. So taking it back then to what I said a second ago, if you want to understand ACT, you've got to start putting it into practice. And I'm sort of reminded of the interview I did the other day for the Jump Into Success podcast, where it's about hearing something as a personal development idea and then thinking, oh, that's interesting, but then doing nothing about it. If you really want to test the notions of personal development to see if they work for you, you got to do it. I'm fed up of people who sort of, email in or in an interview say, oh yeah, personal development is a scam. It's, this kind of psychobabble from the United States and all of that kind of, it's not. But, you ask these people, so what did you actually do differently after you'd been on that course or you'd read that book? And they often say, well, I didn't do anything. Hello, that's why nothing changed. You've got to change. So I guess the essence is that you're in control. And it is about, changing your mindset and doing something different, but having a fixed goal. I mean, I'm blue in the face from telling people, so what's your intention here? Where do you want to go? And they go, oh, I don't know. Well, you need to know. You need to know. The birds, we saw the other day, the whole flock of birds flying south, getting away from England for the winter. So they've got an intention. They know where they're going. So I have that intention. I'm clear about where I'm going. And then that philosophy underpins that process. So hopefully that hasn't been too dense for a early morning video. I will say on mornings like this, it's extraordinarily and beautiful to be alive because it is just absolutely fantastic. I can see right across to Wales. I think it's like in that film, on clear days like this, you can almost see forever. And in a sense, I understand what that means. So when you look out there, what do you see as your future? And the old Jim Rohn thing, if you have a spiritual belief, it's days like this. It really does mean something because, wow, it's extraordinary. Guys, have a great day and I'll catch you on the next video. Keep on smiling and keep the questions coming in. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.